Hey everybody, welcome back. This is John and I'm William and we're the Southern Beer Review. So we're bringing you something a little bit different today. Last week, John sent me a link over email from a website called bhamnow.com. They are an online site that focuses on all things good about Birmingham, the good things people are doing, good places to go, good places to live, and one of their sections is food and drink. So the article that John sent me was written by one of their staff members by the name of Emma Johnston. And she wrote an article on this new Magic City brewery tour or brewery trail that she came up with, which basically takes people from west to east across 12 breweries in Birmingham. The first one that she reviewed is Monday Night Brewery, which of course originated in Atlanta, and we've done a podcast from this location before. So what we're going to do for you over the course of several weeks is we're going to start with number one on her list, and we're going to go through all 12 and kind of bring you the experience of each brewery. And like I said, we're starting with Monday Night, which is on the extreme western side. It's close to I-65. The train tracks are out here.
Just heard a train go by.
Yep. And again, this has been here a couple of years. Like I said, it got its start in Atlanta, and it's a good space. They were friendly enough to let us do this from their little kind of satellite room here where nobody is at the moment. But next door, they've got a great space, outdoor, indoor, TVs. The bar is situated in a U-shape, great space. And so what we thought we would do to bring you a variety is we're going to sample 4 beers in their selection, and I'm going to let John kind of tell you a little bit about what we're doing today.
Yeah, we talked a bit about how we were going to choose the 4 beers at each place, and I think what we finally decided is we would automatically choose one that was mentioned in the original article. That seemed fair to do. So we got the Taco Tuesday. I think the author mentioned the Taco Tuesday from Monday Night Brewing. Then we wanted to choose 2 others that are more well-known, sort of more standard flagship beers. And for those, we chose the Space Lettuce, the double IPA, which has been gaining more and more popularity these days, and the Drafty Kill, which is probably my first introduction ever to Monday Night way back in the day. It's been a standard of theirs for a very long time. And then for our 4th beer, we thought we would try something we'd never had before that looked a little bit more, I'm not going to say this is a small batch, but I'm not sure this is one that they can at this point or mass produced, but it's the OG Pilsner. So those are the 4 beers we're going to sample, and not only that, we're also going to, as we try them, and at the end, we're going to kind of sum up our feelings about the whole place with a rating, overall rating for Monday Night Brewery here in Birmingham.
Yeah, so before we get into the Taco Tuesday, one more time, go online, bhamnow.com, click on the search bar and type in Magic City Brewery Tour, and you will see Emma's article, and it'll give you highlights of all the breweries, you should get this beer at each brewery kind of pick. And with that being said, her pick for Monday night is the Taco Tuesday, which we're going to sample first.
It's a lager.
It is a Mexican
lager.
lager.
Mexican lager.
And it's very light tasting. It is just a touch sweet, and it is a classic Mexican style lager.
It's very crispy, drinkable, but it does have a note of sweetness that is a nice little sweetness to it. Maybe more sweet than a typical lager might be, but still very good.
Mexican lagers too also pair very well with clearly Mexican food. So, Birmingham having quite the choices of Mexican food. I would take the time to get one of these. Sometimes they have food trucks right outside here, and pair it with your favorite burrito or taco.
It would be excellent with that.
All right, so moving on to beer 2.
Palate cleanser.
Let's see. You want to go for the OG Pils?
Let's do the Pils, and then we'll head to Space Lettuce.
So the Pilsners are styles that John and I have kind of gravitated towards more in the last, what would you say, 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, they're a little bit easier on the waistline, I found, than some of the IPAs and some of the heavy stouts and that sort of thing. So it's a little healthier, but also I've just learned to really appreciate the balance of them more.
So that has as compared to the Taco Tuesday, that has more of a, I guess, more of a sharp taste, European style, German style.
The first thing that came to my mind was more of a European style, more of the classic Pilsner style. It's not as sweet, but more malty. I'm getting the malt, but it's not a sweet malt.
Definitely more hoppy, as you would expect the Pils to be, but I generally like the Pilsner style because it is, as you can see with the color, it's a lighter beer, but it's also got German influence or European influence.
And they're generally a little hoppier than your average lager, which I appreciate.
Right, and again, that's the OG Pils, and like John said, it's not one that they on a regular basis can, or even can that I know of, but we picked it because it's more of a seasonal kind of beer. All right, now we're going to move on to the Space Lettuce IPA, which is, first of all, it's a great name.
It really is. Can't remember if I've had Space Lettuce or not before, but I'm excited to give it another try, even if I have. It's been a while.
I will say this as John starts the sampling process. Space Lettuce is kind of synonymous with Birmingham beer. I mean, you hear people talk about liking this beer a lot, if that makes sense. Hey, go down to Monday night, get your Taco Tuesday, get your Drafty Kill, get your Space Lettuce.
Yeah.
It's the IPA that they identify with.
Since Monday night's been here, it's been the popular one, and it's excellent.
Yeah, it's really good. My first thought is, obviously it's an IPA, but it's very smooth tasting, easy to drink.
We've reviewed some IPAs on this channel that I've been sort of hard on, and particularly I think about the Trim Tab 006.
Yeah,
I was a little harder on, but that was less of an IPA style. I like that. This is more my speed here. It's just really good hoppy. It's got a real pleasing bitterness. It's got a good smell to it.
In a good way. If somebody asked me what this tasted like, I would say it's got an outdoors taste. I mean, it's piney, kind of a nut influence, kind of a flora aroma, I guess, for lack of a better way to put it.
It's not quite as overwhelmingly tangerine fruity as some IPAs.
Right.
It's like a more piney.
And then we wanted to bring y'all a darker beer, and that's a great color.
Yeah. The light really shows there's some reddish hints there.
It does, absolutely. And it's got a great head on it. And this is the Drafty Kill Scotch Ale.
Like I said, probably years and years. This one's been around for a while. This is probably the first beer I ever had for Monday night. When I didn't even know Monday night was in Atlanta, I was just like, oh, here's this beer company, Monday Night. They've got Drafty Kill. Let me try this.
I can remember somebody recommended Monday Night to me and said the first thing you have to have is the Drafty Kill. Now, I'm a huge Scotch Ale fan anyway.
Oh, yeah. This is good stuff. I had forgotten how good this is.
Yeah, so that's what I like about this is it is a Scotch Ale with the red hint to it, but it also has hints of what a stout would bring to some degree.
It's very, very drinkable. Like I seriously am having to hold back from just chugging this. It's thirst quenching, really.
A little vanilla, a little coffee, as you would expect in a darker beer like this, and it's not too terrible. None of these are terribly high that we got. I mean, I think the high Drafty Kill's in the 7s.
7.2, I think.
7.2.
I'm not sure what Space Lettuce is. It might be around the same.
Right. And what we're going to try to do is, and you can kind of see by the beer flight here, we're going to try to we're going to try to run the gamut of beers. So if you line it up here, and you go from light, and then the IPA is a little hazier, obviously, and then the darker, we're not going to necessarily stick to a theme, but we're going to try to bring you a wide variety of beer. So
I'll have to say too, William, that we just took a couple sips of each beer, but these were all really strong.
Really, really good.
Excuse me.
And again, to kind of wrap this up, what John and I are going to do for each of these is we're going to give the whole experience a rating. We don't want to take time to give a rating on each beer like we do on our other podcasts when we just have one. So we're going to rate.
And those aren't going away by the way.
No.
We just thought we'd try something different.
Exactly right.
Mix it up a little bit.
So we're going to rate the beer, the location, stuff there is to do. And you want me to go first?
Sure.
I really like Monday Night. I mean, for a brewery, and then listen, some of you that go to a brewery that's in several locations might think, well, they sacrifice quality for quantity. I don't think Monday night does that at all. I think the 4 beers we've had today are great. You know, you can't beat the Amtrak coming by. They've got a great outdoor space, but it's raining right now. It's very kid-friendly. The people that work here are very knowledgeable and fantastic. I'm going to go 8.5 on the whole experience.
Yeah. I'm going to, and this is very biased, but I'm going to dock it a point right off the bat because it's not an official Birmingham that started here brewery. And that's just my own Alabama, Birmingham bias. So I'm going to dock it a point for that. And the beer is wonderful. I really haven't had, I can't think that I've ever had anything bad here when I've been here. And I've had some stuff that's really, really quite excellent. It doesn't quite rise to the level of a couple of places I can think about in town. I'm going to give it, and I'll be honest, some of the crowd here seems a bit young for me because look, I'm an old guy now. I prefer more laid back scenes, and this can get a little rowdy sometimes. So I'm gonna give it a solid 8.
Yeah, that's
solid,
good. So,
solid place. I enjoy this place.
So overall, an 8.25. And again, and I won't give you all the details every time we do this, but one more time, go to bhamnow.com, click the search bar, type in Magic City Brewery Tour, and look for Emma Johnston's article because that's what we're basing this on. Monday Night Brewery was the first place she suggested you go on the Magic City Brewery Trail.
And I think next up is Good People, right?
Yep.
On the next stop
right down the street. So again, Monday Night Brewery, 8.25. Come down and experience it yourself. Great ambiance, great beer. Thanks guys.